Oh my God.
How you doing, Uncle Bill?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good too, boys. First horror roundtable we've done in a while. We appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Thank y'all. Tater's Knob Haint is in the
Mm-hmm.
chat. Welcome, Tater.
It's always a good day.
We got some patrons in the green room, Uncle Bill. We have a green room now. We're all professional and shit.
Yeah.
Welcome, our buddy Dirk, Subjective Perspective Collective, baby. How's it going, man?
What's going on, huh?
I see you got your Freddy out there.
Yeah, a little bobblehead.
Cool.
It's broke and shit.
Look at this. Look here, bulls.
We're all broke.
Look, this one's arm's been missing for about 15 years. Used to work. But it's got an arm off.
Poor old Freddy, his arm got burned off.
Yeah. Damn it.
And it wouldn't be a round table stream without the stuntman himself, Stuntman Mark, showing off his collection back there as always.
Oh, of course. Thank you guys for having me. Glad to be here. And, it's one of those high quality Dead Pit productions, so I had to be a part of it.
Yes.
Right, buddy. We don't do nothing half-assed around here.
Yeah. We kind of just show off our high-tech redneck capabilities at Dead Pit on a regular basis. So lots of stuff to talk about tonight, guys. Lots of people in the chat already. So we appreciate everybody coming out. I think this is the first round table. I know it's the first one of the year, but it's the first only one that we've done in a few months. So we need to get back at this regularly, Uncle Bill. I'll blame you.
Why the fuck you blame me? You're the one in charge of this shit.
Well, you're always the one to blame.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
So I am wearing, guys. I wanted to let everybody know because I haven't talked about it much. I told Garrett, which I don't know if Garrett's going to be in here or not. I invited him. If he doesn't show up, then fine. You can go on Larry's DVD trailer of fun show or whatever the hell it is. Not show up on our show. That's fine. You tell Larry to shit and fall back in it sideways, Garrett. But anyway, I got this on in commemoration.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
For Scream Factory, finally, it's taken over 10 years. I've been talking shit about them for 10 years. They have finally, or at least, I don't know when. It may have been in the last month or two, but I just noticed it today. I have been fully blocked on Facebook by the Scream Factory page on Facebook. Yeah. I can no longer access it.
Goals.
I think that I finally accomplished something. So.
Yeah. They finally were like, I've had enough of this piece of shit. Get him out of here.
They're like, we've had it, boys. But I don't even remember the last time I made fun of them on Facebook, though. So this could have been a while, and I just didn't notice it.
Well, I mean, you have been talking mad shit about them for about the last year straight, almost every show. So I'm glad they finally caught up. I don't think Severn will ever block us because I feel like they're under the policy of like all publicity is good publicity at this point. So
right,
we'll just keep shitting on them and it'll be fine, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you about this. That sale that they just had, that was a pretty good sale. That's a pretty good sale. I'm gonna tell you why. Because within that sale, if you bought enough shit, and I did, I'm not gonna lie, then you got you could get like the whole fucking $100 set of bullshit from them, which one of those included 2 4Ks for free.
What?
Really?
Man, yeah, the last sale that they had, the what was it called? Scare fucking.
I didn't even look at it, so I don't.
I looked at the sale and I really
Love is in the Scare, or Scare or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like they had stuff was discounted. It wasn't discounted that much, but some of it was like $10, right? So you could get like, depending on if you didn't have it, 9 or 10 things. But if you spent over $100, they gave you a free gift, and you got to select what that free gift was. Well, two of the things that were a free gift on there was, one of them was the Piranha set, like the whole set.
Damn.
The 4K with the pins and the poster.
Oh, you get the pins?
And yeah, so the other The other one,
Coming on my
you
albums. I'm so excited.
you could shit on this if you want. I don't have either one of these movies, and I like the first one. The other one is you got the Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You
Buddy,
sets.
Yeah.
buddy. Me too.
I can't believe. Damn.
For free, by the way.
I don't know if I'd take them for free. Fuck them movies.
Yeah.
Look, you too narrow minded about Scream Factory sucking. You gotta embrace
What did you find that was
you gotta
priced well in that sale? We need to go through the
embrace
sale
all
at some
of the
point.
things that
tonight.
are good about Scream
Is
Factory.
the sale still going on?
Yeah, it's still going on. I'm pretty sure it's going on for the next couple of days.
What the hell did you buy? Like
I can
didn't
tell
see.
you. I can tell you exactly what I bought, son. Hold on.
But it's a select group of 4Ks, not any 4Ks, right?
What that you can get for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they give you like an option.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get the sets. Like there's like 10 different 4Ks you could possibly get for free if you wanted to.
Damn.
So I got the Escape from New York 4K. I got Ninja 3 The Domination on Blu-ray because I don't have it. I got Nightmares because I don't have it. I got the Naked Vengeance Vendetta double feature because somebody recommended that to me for the exploitation stuff that I'm doing. I got After Midnight, which I don't have, and Screamers, which I don't have.
After midnight.
Screamers, you talking about Island of the Fishmen?
There's
This is the one with
Peter Weller, that one?
I believe it's the Peter Weller and what's her name? Jennifer Rubin, isn't she in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Schweller.
Peter Swiller's in here. But I mean,
It's Uncle Bill's favorite. Uncle Bill loves Black Peter.
I swear to
favorite.
God.
It's your
You
favorite.
talk to me about saying fuck, and then you're going to just start saying whatever you want.
What's wrong with that? I'm just spreading love. I know that you love Black Peter. The hell, man?
No,
What are you
listen,
getting at here?
I'm not getting it nothing. You fucking start with me.
See, Black Peter loves you too, Uncle Bill.
I'm glad that Black Peter loves me.
So we're going to talk about some Freddy tonight. And I got to say, this is kind of weird because like I use Patreon as like a search engine for shit that we've done before. And, you know, we've talked about Elm Street kind of before, but like it seems like of all of the big franchises, like the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise is probably the one that we've went over the least. Like we've done, I guess, commentaries for a couple of the movies. We've talked mad shit about Elm Street 5 and the remake. We did On the Road for the remake. Why do you think that is, Uncle Bill? We just haven't really touched on those movies very much.
You know, that's a good question because there's something about those movies that, to me anyway, like other than a couple of them, they don't have the rewatchability factor of like, say, like Friday the 13th or something like that. I don't know why that is. Like, I mean, I like the majority of them. I just don't ever go back and watch them.
For me, it's I kind of outgrew it, man. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It was more effective when I was younger, you know. And I think I burned them out too because I watched it so many times.
I think here's my equation for it, Dirk, and see if you agree with me on it. I think it's like when you first start listening to music and you get into shit that like everybody's into, right? Like, so first thing I got into AC/DC, right? That's like the entry band into hard rock.
Right.
But then at some point you're going to have to branch off into some obscure shit one way or the other. You're either going to go like down the like heavy metal, death metal, like doom metal pathway. You're going to go down the hardcore punk pathway. So same thing with movies, right? You start off watching like Nightmare on Elm Street. You're either going to go down the giallo route or the fucking slasher route or the Italian route or there'll be some, you know,
or all the above.
Yeah. Or all the above. Yeah. And you just kind of start watching more and more stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just interesting to me, you know, because these are clearly movies that we all kind of grew up with and loved at a younger age. And honestly, like whatever year the big VHS set come out that has Freddy's arms on it and shit, Like I watched the hell out of that on VHS. Like I loved it. And then
that was huge.
I think it's like Dirk was saying, I may have just got burnt out on those movies and just don't. I watched, the ones we did the commentaries for, and the first one a few times. But what about you, Mark? Do you find yourself going back? Because I know you love the obscure shit.
Not really. I mean, I love the first movie, and I'm one of the few people that probably have seen them in order. I saw the first one first. And all the sequels, I mean, they're hit and miss, but I don't find myself going back to them all that much. Not to say that, like, if they do come out with a 4K box set this year, that I won't pick it up, because I probably will. I think we all will.
Yeah.
But that being said, shifting the conversation a bit, if they did come out with a set, what could they add to it to make us all want it? I think pretty much even everybody in the chat's probably got fatigued with the Nightmare series, but
dude, that freaking what was the name of the documentary that they did for
Never
Nightmare on Elm
Sleep
Street?
Again?
Like, what are they going to do to top that? That's like 20 hours long. So I remember watching that and just being like, Jesus Christ. Like, I know more than I ever wanted to know about Nightmare on Elm Street now.
Well, I think the big thing is, all of these movies in a nice collection together. Chucky has, well, even though they didn't do a set, but they've got the nice releases.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween has had a big, deluxe box set and the 4Ks and everything. Friday the 13th has had, I don't know how many damn releases. They still every year, but it seems like Warner Brothers is like, they've got that little shitty box set that's like in one Blu-ray case. Elm Street as a series deserves more than that. And I don't know if, I'm pretty sure you're going to at least get the 4K of the first movie this year. I don't know about a box set. I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't know what the deal is with Warner Brothers and why that it's been a good, 13 or 14 years since that Blu-ray set came out.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't even re-released anything. They haven't done a new, just a, how companies do like new slip covers on them or whatever else, include a poster with it or something. They haven't even tried. It's kind of odd.
Do y'all remember back in the day though, the 1900 number for Freddy?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. It was like 3 something a minute or some shit.
I don't even think it wasn't Robert Englund's voice, was it? Or if it
No,
was,
it could have been.
It was just some dude that kind of sounded like Robert Englund, like doing that.
Because
I remember that. It was like,
remember to get your parents' permission before you call.
Yeah, man.
It'd been so killer, like because it'd all be pre-recorded. Like you get on there.
I wonder if somebody has any of those calls recorded. Probably not.
I hope so. That'd be a cool thing to look up on YouTube or something.
But man, I remember though, man, that shit scared the shit out of me. The first one, and back in '85, because it was a year after I seen it. Like it came out '84, so I must have seen it on like HBO late night or something. But damn, that shit, it was effective then. But it just like,
I think the first two were effective. Really, like the first two were like before it got silly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the silly ones too, but the watching those when you're a kid was really effective. I can still remember, for some reason, the thing that sticks out for me the most was the bus sequence in part 2. Right. I don't know why that is. It's just something that like has always been with me. I guess because when you're a kid, like that's one of your greatest fears is the bus just fucking taking off, like, and you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
Something about that.
Yeah.
Well, the second one's so damn dark. I mean,
yeah, and it's got some weird undertones in it. That's what I think I can get away with saying that.
Yeah.
And what's funny is we interviewed Jack Shoulder, the guy that directed part 2, and I think we asked him about that, and he was kind of offended that we brought it up. So.
Well, if you watch
that shit couldn't be an accident. There's no fucking way.
Here's what I'll tell you honestly. If you watch that documentary, the Scream Queen documentary that Mark Patton did, it was actually, it seemed like it was more the writer that was putting that stuff in. And like, there's a lot of questionable stuff about whether or not, like, he still denies it to this day in that documentary, by the way. or he did, like when that was made. Jack Shoulder did, but the writer was like, "Oh yeah, I was putting all kinds of shit like that."
Yeah, he said
there.
it was supposed to be subtext.
Yeah. So like I don't know how much that Jack Shoulder really knew, but like it was definitely being like inserted in there. Bad pun, but it was being put in like, without him knowing it for sure.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people in the chat though. And we're going to try to get to some of these questions and stuff too. People talking about our Dead Pit on the Road to the remake that killed the whole damn franchise back in the day.
That Deader than Disco, it killed that shit. Lord.
What's crazy about that is that movie, it was that movie that killed that whole fucking franchise, man. And there was never any rumors or discussions or anything about doing a follow-up to that ever that I can recall.
Well, I remember like Rooney Mara was basically like, I almost quit acting after. Maybe I'm so depressed. It's like that movie just about like took her out.
She didn't give a shit about that movie. It was a stepping stone for something else. They interviewed her right before that came out and they were like, "So have you seen the original?" She's like, "No." Do you like the franchise? No. She didn't know shit about it. So
she's just sitting there. Fuck this movie. I hate this.
Yeah,
what's crazy though is like you can obviously tell that the director of that movie had no idea what in the fuck he was doing either, because like for the first half of that movie, you're thinking that I can't remember the character's name, but the blonde girl was the lead. That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of takes and it moves to good old Rooney there. But there was
maybe they cut a lot of her stuff out because she was so bad, man. Like I don't know. Maybe they were trying to originally go with her and just kind of. That's one of the worst performances. You go back and watch it; it's on par with like Kristen Stewart shit in Twilight. That's the way she acts in that movie. But also, Jackie Earle Haley doing his Watchman voice doesn't help anything either. Like,
yeah,
he looked like a burnt pig.
The editing of that movie, man, it was rough from what I remember.
Yeah, I wanted to walk out of that. I mean, me and a group of friends went. I didn't really want to go, but we went, and I don't find myself wanting to walk out of many movies, but that one really, if I had driven to the theater, I probably would have walked out.
I remember the only movie that Wes and I ever talked about walking out of while we were in the movie that I can remember was the Fog remake. We were like sitting there. We were sitting there and we were like, should we leave? Like this.
That was, that one was bad, man. I think that may be the worst one that we ever sit all the way through in the theater.
I think so. If Skinamarink had been on in the theater back then, that would have been it. But instead, we got the Fog remake. It's about the same.
So, but yeah, 40 years this year, the first Elm Street movie, Wes Craven. I think it saved his career. I'm pretty sure if he didn't have that, because he was doing stuff like The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 and Chiller and fucking horrible ass shit like that. And thank God that he got this.
What do y'all think about Deadly Blessing? Think about that,
man. I tried to go back and watch that movie not too long ago.
Yeah.
And maybe it was I was trying to watch it on Tubi or something like that, and it was the quality of it. I just couldn't get through the first 20 minutes of it. I need to actually try to watch it on something.
I do too. I've got the Scream Factory, our boys, but I haven't watched that one in a long, long time.
No,
Same here.
It was like Sharon Stone. I think it was like her first film or something.
I just remember Michael Berryman running around like he's like the lead heel in it or whatever. He's just running around being a douche. The whole thing, like it's just a weird movie.
You got Borgnine. What's his name?
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest. Yeah.
And then you got the sleepaway camp type ending, which most people forget about.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I have to watch that. I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah. It also started the Sharon Stone, Wes Craven beef, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know that story.
I didn't know that story. Go tell the story more.
Oh, well, he lost his wife to Sharon Stone.
She was hotter than shit in that movie.
I mean,
That's pretty much the story.
Well,
That's true. I mean, she was.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
I mean, if you're going to do that,
hard to pass up. Yeah, Sharon Stone, circa what year was that? 86, 87, something like that.
a little bit.
Alpha Romero, he says that the only movie that he ever walked out of in his whole life was the Elm Street remake.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, that was a good one to.
Yeah, makes sense though.
I don't really remember much about us seeing it in the theater. I should go back and check the On the Road out, but I have no memory really of it. I know that not long after that we did like a commentary for it, and then I've never ever tried to watch it again. Like it's probably been however long, 12 years ago, 13 years ago at this point.
I went back and watched clips from it because there's like a couple of dumbasses out there that champion that movie.
Oh man.
And they're like, oh god, it's like people don't give it enough respect. And I was just like, it's just the same movie I remember. So I tried to like watch like clips on YouTube, and I'm just like, you buddy, like you get the worst taste in movies ever if you think
they want something. They want something to champion. That's all.
Yes.
My god.
They want to get a reaction from people.
Yeah.
Like, you like that?
Well, the only reaction they'd be getting would be, you're stupid.
Do you guys, our gal, our 0.25%, if she is a female. Hey, everyone, what is everyone's favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie? Go, Bulls. Well, y'all, let's
The
go.
first one, man. The original.
Still the first one for me.
Yeah. It used to be 3 when I was a kid. It used to be 3 when I was a kid, but
right now, as you asked me that question, it's 4. I don't know why, but like it used to be 3 for me too. I used to love 3. Like I still love 3, but like something about 4. We went back and watched it not too long ago, and it's like it's just the goofiest.
That's the Dream Warrior, Dream Master,
the Dream Master. Yeah.
Dream Master.
So I'll say 4 for right now. It changes periodically.
I would say for me, it's part 2. Like that was the one that was, they burnt that up on HBO back in the day. Like I think that's why I kind of, and it's got that weird, like, can I say gay stuff going on in it?
Sure. Did. I mean, we can't stop you.
Because Mark Patton is clearly an open homosexual now, right? But we didn't really know that then.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it wasn't that. It was just the fact some of that stuff that they threw in there was kind of weird. But Freddy was the darkest Freddy ever was.
He come out into the real world now. Started killing everybody's ass.
Yeah.
I think they had some really cool effects in that movie too, where he's like coming out of Jesse's body or whatever.
I think that might be the most effective looking Freddy too, with the eyes like that and everything. It just looked like the darkest, meanest kind of looking Freddy.
Yeah, the Kevin Yeager design.
Yeah.
It's the first one for me because I guess the nostalgia from it of the being so damn scared of this shit that I couldn't even go to sleep after I watched the damn thing.
Same here.
I like Kim Myers in part 2 though too, man. She's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Kim Myers is always damn goofy. Everybody thinks like it's Meryl Streep. Like
she's a better looking Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
No offense to Meryl Streep or anything, but she is probably about 80 years old at this point.
Yeah, it's fine. She doesn't watch her show. I'm about willing to bet.
Chris C, the slasher dude, what is up, man? The Freddy in Freddy versus Jason, he said, was badass. You saw the true demon. That's a hot take right there. You hear too many people put over Freddy versus Jason.
He's not wrong. That's one of the best things about that movie. If you can consider anything good about it, like Robert Englund's going for it. He's really good at it.
I can't. Who's that? What's his name?
Ken Kersinger.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible, man.
Big dumbass Jason.
Yeah. Puppy dog eyed Jason.
Well, like a lot of people that have gone Frankenstein Jason. A lot of people that have gone back and reviewed that movie are like, I can't do it. It's not a Friday the 13th movie at all. Like they shouldn't even really put that in there. It's like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie with a cameo fucking Jason. Is really what it is. There's just nothing interesting, or there's not even that many scenes with Jason in it. It's a Freddy movie,
and it's trying to make the audience side with Jason.
Well, they make Jason to be a gigantic pussy in it too.
Freddy fucking water and shit. Is like, okay, is he? Because I was thinking that he was like killing people all throughout the series in the lake, but whatever.
$1.99 super chat from our boy Camp Flashback. Thank you, sir. What is the origin of the high pitched voice we do, Uncle Bill?
Well, that comes from Hellord, and I mean you have to know what Hellord is to understand.
Members of Dead Pit on Patreon.com. If you don't know what Hellord is, just search on there because we've got some classic Hellord songs on there, like Dancing with a Corpse, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think it really boils down to this. Like, we can't sing, and we were like, what's the funniest shit we could do, like, to do a song? It's like always being a falsetto voice. So that's what we did.
Because we're big fans of Ronnie James Dio. Of course, we can't sing that high, so you got to reach down and just grab your nuts. Oh, yeah.
It's also a little bit of Paul Stanley, too. That stupid shit that he does in between songs.
Juice.
How many people out there like the country? Or whatever shit he does in those Alive album.
Man, yeah, Paul Stanley, man. He was the man back in the day.
J Real Sister is in here, boys. Kathy, welcome. Or no, wait, there's two Kathys. No,
yeah, Kathy Bradshaw's one you're thinking of. That's Kathy S.
Kathy Bradshaw's in here too, I think. But anyway.
Get your shit together.
I'm sorry, they spell Kathy the same way.
Get your Kathy straight.
Spelled with a fucking C. You can't play these tricks on me, people. So,
I'm curious though, like real quick, like what do you guys think about stand-up Freddy? That's what I'll call him. Freddy with the one-liners. Because it becomes that from 3 on, really. Like
right.
That kind of version of Freddy. Some people love that version, some people like
they
just don't like it.
I mean, like I keep going back to it, but when I was a kid, it was funnier, it was more effective. But I just kind of, I don't know, outgrew that shit or something. It's weird because I can watch any Friday the 13th, any of them, and I don't know, I just don't go back to Nightmare too much.
Yeah, it bothers me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can tolerate 3 and 4. The other ones,
Freddy's dead. Shit.
Yeah, I can't do it.
There's people championing that shit.
Yeah. There's something that happens. I don't know if it's budget wise or what it is on 5 and 6. Like it just gets like so silly and so cheap looking and so comical that it's almost like not even a Nightmare on Elm Street movie at that point. It becomes something else. A lot of people like those movies, but I don't.
Well, didn't they started like the 5th one without a finished script or something, right?
Well, the fifth one always looked to me like they made it like they finished the 4th one and immediately just made the 5th one in like a week. Like that's what that movie looks like. It's the same. It looks like the same sets, the same like cinematography, but it feels rushed, like completely.
We got to talk about this on here too, and I want to put the link in the chat. Dirk and it's his channel, Subjective Perspective Collective, is up for horror YouTuber of the month. So if anybody has a minute or two, go vote. I made a tiny URL for it so I could remember it.
I appreciate
that. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem, man. You've always helped us out and shit. So just go put SPC in the comments there and hope we can get a victory there. But appreciate it, Garrett, for at least commenting. You motherfucker won't come in here. What the hell?
We're talking about the one thing we know that motherfucker loves to talk about. He won't come in here.
He's doing Larry's Blue Tube Explosion.
That's right.
Show.
Oh God.
Poor old Larry, he needs the views. So yeah, but with the comedy aspect of Freddy, kind of started in 3, and it got progressively more ridiculous as the movies went along. Like part 5, I think was the one that was just like, okay, this is stupid now. Like wasn't that the one where he dressed up as fucking the Wicked Witch or something like that?
No, that was sick.
Freddy's dead, right?
Yeah,
that was sick.
And the
That's
game
like
glove, the glove, the power glove, or whatever.
Yeah. But 5 is the one where it's like, hey, Pops, with the little
that damn kid, man.
What's the matter, Dad?
That lead actress, though, she was supposed to be his daughter or something. I vaguely remember that shit.
There she is. We got Kathy Bradshaw's in here too. I knew she was in here. Welcome, Kathy.
She's the real one.
We got Peter Sweller in here too. Uncle Bill loves him as well. But the big thing that a lot of people are talking about, though, 40-year anniversary, the first movie this year. Do you guys think that we're going to see anything, special edition release? If we are, who do you think is going to do it? What studio?
I think, wouldn't it be Scream Factory? Wouldn't that make the most sense? Or what do y'all think?
I know that they want to do it.
Yeah. I would have thought that before.
Let me tell you, there were some pictures floating around. What would it have been? Probably 2 years ago. Those weren't made by fans. That was something that was sent as like a proposal or something like that Warner Brothers turned down. So that was legit. Like they definitely, our boys at Scheme Factory definitely want to do the box sets. But for some reason, Warner has just been really, really uptight about the Elm Street movies.
It has to come out. I mean,
yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like this 40-year anniversary, put out the 4K. It makes sense. Hopefully they do an uncut version.
I haven't checked any of the news though, like on the rights and all that with the Craven estate and all that. Have y'all? It's been a while since I looked at that.
I think Warner Brothers, I think they still own it. Oh, we got our boy Eric in here. What's up, man?
Oh, what's up?
Hey, guys.
What's going on, man?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, sir. Talking
Thank you.
Freddy tonight. 40 years of Freddy. Any memories? Or because you're kind of out there in California. I don't know how involved in that aspect of physical media and stuff. What studio could you see releasing if they did a box set, which I don't know. I think they're definitely doing the first movie at least on 4K this year, though.
Yeah, it's criminal that it's not on 4K, honestly. I don't know, because I think I think Warner Brothers still technically owns it from a licensing standpoint, but it's such a valuable property. Like I can't see if it's going to be out on 4K, I would think the studio that owns it would do it. I can't see them licensing it out to a boutique to do it because it's just too big of a franchise. But I wish I had like inside info to share with that for that, but I don't.
Yeah, they'd probably made you sign like one of those non-disclosure things like Sleepy supposedly has to sign.
One of them Vince McMahon NDAs.
He's just full of shit. Sleepy is. He don't sign nothing. He just don't want to tell us.
I guarantee he ain't never signed a thing in his life. He just don't want to tell us nothing. Shit on them guys.
I think though, like, yeah, I think it's the studio that's going to release it though. Warner Brothers. You know how they did like the different Exorcist editions?
Yeah.
For last year, I can totally see them doing something like that for, the original Elm Street movie. I think that's what we're going to see.
I'm trying to think like straight down the line, how many does Warner Brothers own?
All of them, I think.
I'm pretty sure they own them all.
What are they going to do? Just release like one a year, like each for each 40th anniversary? Like they just go like, here's this one, 2024, then part 2.
Yeah. As far as the sequels go, I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty huge undertaking if they're going to 4K remaster all of those movies. How many movies is that? That's a lot. 7, 8 movies.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if companies like that see the value in doing doing huge box sets like other boutique companies do.
Yeah. It just stinks because, I mean, if you look at the history of Elm Street on home video, right, they showed it a lot of respect. I mean, New Line was more independent back in the day, but like that first DVD box set was pretty legendary when it came out, right? The first the Nightmare Blu-ray was actually really good too. The original film, like the quality was really good. They ported over all the supplemental features. It was a nice disc. I think New Line put it out on. They gave it an Infinifilm release at one point.
Yeah, I've got that. Still got that.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, you would think of all of the popular horror franchises, like if there was one that was going to have a really good set out, it would be that franchise. It's criminal that they don't have it out. So that's my favorite franchise by far in terms of like mainstream horror movies.
The DVD box set though, the collector series or whatever the hell they called them back then, the New Line collector series, when they were
the
still
New Line platinum series or platinum.
Yeah.
Edition.
Whenever they put them in, like they had those little crappy snapper cases or whatever. But for the time, that set came out in the fall of 1999 is how long that. So of like that era, that was like the biggest box set in any genre, right? They hadn't done anything remotely because DVD was still kind of in its infancy then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd been around in one way or another for a couple of years. But as far as big box sets go with, you know, what was it, 6 or 7 movies at the time, that was huge for like any genre. And they gave it, you know, extras. Each of the movies had extras. Freddy's Dead was in, you know, they did the 3D treatment with that, which was really cool at the time, even though it kind of sucked. But yeah, I mean, it's odd that they would go to all that trouble then, although it was New Line Cinema and now it's Warner Brothers. But yeah, I mean, it's been that long since there's been like a big deluxe set of Elm Street, you know, done right all together like that.
Yeah, that was definitely the set to have at the time. I mean, I'm pretty sure every horror fan watching this has that set. It's still a really nice set. I mean, I'll never get rid of mine. Like,
interesting. It'd be an interesting story just to know what happened in between that DVD and the shitty Blu-rays that we have now, as to why like nothing more ever kind of happened.
Here's the thing though, the Blu-rays actually look decent. It's not that they look bad or anything, but it's just so half-assed.
Yeah.
The way.
Well, yeah, it's one, like you've got like how many movies in that one little.
It's a couple of movies per disc, aside from the first movie, I think, and it's in like a regular size Blu-ray case.
Yeah,
just ridiculous.
Yeah,
and the thing is when they, I mean, I'll give them credit. They didn't charge very much for it. It was kind of cheap when it came out. But had they done a deluxe box set, they could have sold it for $100, $150 easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think that probably came out before people went insane with all these boutique companies and everything. Really, like that came out
before the heyday of like the boutique label for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was what, 2010, 2011, something like that, I think. So, yeah, I mean, I always hate, though, when studios put 2 movies on one disc. I mean, I don't know why that always irks me. That's especially when it's like a big franchise like Nightmare on Elm Street, which it has gigantic fan base for. People still this day happily pays Robert Englund $120, $130 for an autograph. Think of that. Or whatever it is.
Now. Is that what it charges? $160?
For personalized autograph, it's an extra $40 on top of $120.
It's expensive to live in Laguna Beach or wherever he is. So I guess you got to, if you're semi-retired, you got to be able to pay the property taxes somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
At Texas Frightmare, I think it was $220.
Wow.
God.
What the? So you've got people willing to pay Robert Englund $220 fucking dollars. Why doesn't Warner Brothers want any of these people's money? I don't get it. I mean, it's crazy. They've got such a diehard fan base there. And now, like, if they don't do anything this year, I'm convinced that set's never coming.
I think the other thing is too, and I don't know if this has anything to do with home video, but the Wes Craven estate has a piece of it too, right? Like, of the at least of the original. So if they're gonna do like a new film or television series or whatever, they have to approve it and be involved in it to some capacity. So that might complicate any sort of.
He created the character and all that too, right? So they would,
yeah,
you know. Oh, I think we got some more people in here, Pulse. Well, what do you know?
Buddy.
Did you get done with Larry already, or what?
No, but I heard you guys talking about this sucker, so I wanted to come in and talk about it. This bad boy.
That is a classic.
Love it.
Classic. This was the set to have, right? That's still the best Elm Street set we've ever had.
It is. Yeah, think of that. 25 years ago, that thing came out.
This thing came out. Is that what it was? 25
I think
years?
it was 99, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, is when that set came out.
I don't see it in date on here. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know. 99, you're right, dude.
Yeah, so 25 years. How insane is that? They haven't done a set in 25 years.
Well, they did that shitty Blu-ray set with everything was like compiled on the same disc.
You missed that. You missed that part. We were just talking about that.
You were?
I don't really consider that a set. That's just some half-ass deal.
You can basically get that for about $20 now, too. I mean, pretty much.
Well, that's the thing. They never really like charged very much for it. How much was it when it was new? Like $40 or $50?
It was cheap.
It was cheap for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, had they actually took their time and did like a proper set, they probably could have charged $100, $150 easy for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did it right.
Yeah.
But, Garrett, do you think, you know, it's the 40th anniversary? Who is releasing it? Because I think it's in some form something's coming out this year. But who do you see, or do you see it coming out, and who by?
I mean, I think it's got to be Scream Factory, or it's probably going to be Warner themselves. I mean, I think that's the only two. I mean, I also do think like maybe Arrow, because they've kind of come out with some great shit. Maybe it's a UK release only, like that. Maybe that's all they can get done. I think it's going to be one of those three, or I have a feeling if we don't see it this year, I think it's going to be a while, because this would be the most perfect time. It's 40 years. So I don't know. I don't know what happens. I think it's got to be this year, but this year is already flying by. I'm just surprised we haven't heard more rumblings.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd. Like, look at all of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff that they brought out in 4K and given like deluxe treatment to. Look at the packaging on Six String Samurai.
Listen, I just watched two things from Vinegar Syndrome. I wish to God I had my life back after those two things.
Oh no.
It's like, man, they release so much stuff that's just like you can't even barely sit through. I mean, God bless them. Like, I'm happy they're preserving film. Some of this shit doesn't really need to be preserved, to be honest. That could just be let go. But like, yeah, like if a company like that can put out some of this stuff and charge $40 for it or whatever, like, there should be no reason in the world why there should not be a 4K or multiple 4Ks of Nightmare on Elm Street films from someone.
I just got my damn
insane to me.
Yeah, I just got my notification.
Yeah, they've been really slow sending some of this stuff out lately. Like, I got my stuff probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Are y'all
Vinegar Syndrome?
Yeah.
I just got mine today. You want to see the box I got? I was actually going to do a live unboxing tonight, but I was like, I'll pop on here with you guys first. You're going to see. I don't remember what I ordered. I really don't.
Well, that's
I got mine today as well. I don't remember the damn thing.
Vinegar's there.
What the fuck is this? What did I get?
There is one. Yeah.
What the hell did I get?
Garrett, hold on. I'll raise you one.
Oh God!
No,
I'm like, did I get this much stuff? I don't remember what.
Did you order any shirts or anything? Maybe.
What the fuck is that?
You can't even get it in the shop.
Is that the sign?
Yeah, it's the sign.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you got the big LED?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Fuck, that's what's probably in here then, because I ordered like that small one. You know, there's like a small one.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I ordered that. I bet that's what's in here. That's got to be what's in here then, because I don't remember. I'm like, I don't know what I ordered. I have no idea. But it's probably, that's why the box is so big. It's probably that thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Shit.
Well, you gonna open it or what? What's happening?
No, I'm doing it later.
Holy shit! I'm sorry.
He's hyping
Dude,
the show for later.
Listen, I'm hyping the show for later. This is a precursor. I'll do it when I'm doing when we're done. I need to get content, dude. I've been doing everybody else's shows. I haven't done shit over on my channel the last 2 weeks.
Well, get off fucking Larry's DVD dungeon or whatever you're going on.
Listen, I'm trying to help people in the community. I'm trying to be a team player.
Well, some of these people don't deserve help, Garrett. You got to figure it out.
Point being is if Vinegar Syndrome can release Night Screams on a 4K, and that was a project for me to get through, by the way, then
you didn't like Night Screams?
No, I didn't like Night Screams. But like for every Night Screams, there's a Don't Open Till Christmas. So God bless Vinegar Syndrome. I'm not talking shit about them. I'm just saying, like, there should definitely be a 4K that's a decent 4K for at least the first 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Like,
for those that don't know, too, we did a video for Terror Vision, and our buddy Brad Henderson commented on your comment in that video, wanted to know who the asshole was that you was talking about.
Do what?
You was talking about that asshole at Terror Vision, and he asked, "Who is this asshole you're speaking about?"
Well, Brad Henderson. Do I really want to get in talking about fucking shit about Brad Henderson on a Nightmare on Elm Street theme show? Probably. No, let's just say this: like, stay off Twitter, Brad. Like, that's all I would say to you, and any other social media.
Oh yeah. What the hell happened?
I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, you want to argue with fans and shit, that's fine. But
I don't want to argue with anybody. I want to just, be in a happy community of physical media nerds and everything. So
yeah, fantasy land of unicorns and shit. That's fine.
So moving away from Elm Street for a minute, because this is pretty huge, and this just came out today. I want to get your guys' opinions on this, and then if you guys have anything after the, always open topic, but Deadline reported this earlier today at 1:57 p.m. Anchor Bay Entertainment gets revitalized and sets up a couple of new releases this fall. So Umbrellic Entertainment and their co-founders, Thomas Zambek and Brian Katz, which is no relation to Jeff Katz, Uncle Bill. That's that one dude. I don't think they're in relation to
dude.
Where's he?
Not to interrupt what and the Anchor Bay thing. I can't wait to discuss that. I fucking ran into Jeff Katz at the Hollywood Bowl.
Holy shit!
Did you smack him for me
at one of the Cure shows? I couldn't believe it. No, I was like, dude, I love fucking Never Sleep Again, and he was like shocked that someone knew who he was.
I didn't know who he was when I watched that documentary. I was like,
well, the thing is, so he worked for New Line, kind of like. He interned there and then worked for them, and then he was an entertainment executive, and then here in LA, he was on the local sports radio broadcast. He used to do ESPN radio, so he would talk about like old New Line shit and entertainment stuff. So, as like kind of a personality, he's an interesting guy. Like him being in that documentary, like I don't know if they needed him in there, but. He was really nice to me, but he was so shocked that someone fucking recognized him. Like
wasn't he rumored to be involved in some new wrestling promotion that never started up too? Like I think it was him.
He almost produced. He was almost a producer on what would have been the sequel to Freddy versus Jason, which was gonna be Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. They ended up only doing a comic book, but like apparently that movie was really close to happening.
Woo.
But I interrupted you. You were doing the Anchor Bay bit. We should.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. All right, the legendary Ric Flair is in here, though, boss.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's promoting his energy drink.
Woo energy.
I will never retire. Woo! He's crazier. But anyway, they're bringing back Anchor Bay Entertainment with an eye on genre films, undiscovered treasures, cult classics, and remastered catalog releases. Now, there is an updated Anchor Bay logo that kind of looks like a pirate ship, yeah. And we had the opportunity, it said in the interview, we had the opportunity to take the name of a beloved genre film brand, one that we feel a personal connection to, for our new company. This is a new venture, unaffiliated with any previous incarnations. We aim to honor the history and spirit of the past as we look for interesting films that break the mold and will be discovered by new generations for years to come. Now, Lionsgate, they were the ones that kind of acquired the name, I guess, whenever they folded up, and they had bought the rights somehow. I guess this new company, Umbrella Entertainment, has. So starting this fall, I think it's a couple of movies they've announced. It's a documentary on Gunnar Hansen, The Dinner with Leatherface, and let me see, they may have
Abruptio.
Yeah, I was trying to look up what the movie exactly was, but
Abruptio. I've seen it. It's good. It's awesome, actually. I think everybody is going to really get a kick out of it. And it's cool to see it come into physical media because it's something I've never seen before. It's basically using almost like puppets, but it's like it's weird, man. Like Sid Haig is in it, which is crazy because I mean, he's been dead for how long now?
Yeah.
It's quite a while.
If you guys can look up a trailer for Abruptio, just take a look at what this movie is. So I went to Panic Film Fest last year and they debuted it there. And it was one of those movies that we were all like, holy shit, this thing is like the wildest thing I've ever seen. And it's not wild in like a gross way. It was just wild in the way that it was done. It was done with like puppeteering and stuff, but it's like, it's hard to really explain. It's like a real movie, but these characters they just look very odd, like almost like something out of a cartoon. And it was just all practical work. And it's interesting. It's definitely a watch because it's like something I've never seen before. So I'm glad they're putting it out because I was wondering when this movie was ever going to see the light of day, either on VOD or physical. So I'm glad that that's their first big one.
Yeah, they mentioned the plot of it here. It's made with lifelike puppets in realistic settings. Took 8 years to complete. In Abruptio, Les Hackle is a guy down in his luck who wakes up to find an explosive device has been implanted in his neck. He must carry out heinous crimes in order to stay alive while trying to identify the mastermind manipulating the now twisted and strange world around him. So it's Tobin Bell. He's the one that's.
I mean, I think you guys will get a fucking kick out of it, 100%. Like you might be like that sucked, but I think you guys are gonna think it's hilarious because
does it look like Team America? That would be fucking
no, it looks cooler. It looks cooler than that, man. It looks cooler than that.
Yeah.
There needs to be more movies like Team America, man. Like I watched that again not too long ago. That's just like
I don't think there'll ever be any more movies like
that. Is what it's missing.
Sorry, we're not in that space anymore.
Hey, South Park's still rolling though. You know
that's true.
Yeah. It's
that's
still
true.
rolling.
They don't give a shit either. It's crazy.
No, it's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah,
canceled.
They have survived all. You know, I don't know how, but yeah, Anchor Bay Entertainment guys. We've talked about this before. I think I mentioned it with Felcher. I'm like, Lionsgate has revived Vestron. So why couldn't they just revive Anchor Bay into a separate? Which this is even better though because it's owned by somebody independently. And it could almost be like a new boutique label with an old name, of course. So I'm kind of interested. I mean, I'm all for it. What do you guys think?
I'm interested for sure. I mean, I think if the right people are behind it, there's a lot of opportunity there I think that they need a big gun like that because we've all talked about Scream Factory. I mean, we don't know what they seem like they're fine, but you never know. They could be gone in 2 years. And if that's the case, there needs to be another label, I think, out there. And man, if they were smart, they'd get some people that knew what the hell they were doing, like contact Slippy, get some shit going on there. It would be nice to see.
So that's one of the guys, I would say Slippy definitely, it's too bad he's not on, that he would have been perfect to talk about this. One of the guys that's behind this started his career in Anchor Bay originally. So he definitely would know what the value of that brand means to people. Yeah, like you were just saying, it's a great idea. It's a really smart brand to bring back. You've obviously seen all these boutique labels be pretty successful for the most part. They're basically doing what Anchor Bay was doing on a smaller scale back in the heyday of DVD. You guys have talked about it a million times, but I remember back then, like if you were a horror fan or a genre fan, if you walked into a store, if it fucking had the Anchor Bay logo on it, you would just buy it, even if you never even heard of what the movie was. Because it's like, if they're putting it out, it must be interesting. So that's that's a huge brand, and it seems like a really smart idea if they do a good job.
I actually sent this link to Sleepy though, but he never did respond back. I was curious what he thought.
I was curious, and maybe since that guy actually does have some experience with Anchor Bay, that it won't happen. I just don't want to see another Stars. You remember when Anchor Bay got taken over and it was Stars, and they just released all that new, like horrible independent
The
shit.
Walking Dead seasons. That was the death.
Well, if you take that out of it, like they had some of the worst, like just independent films that came out. We used to get screeners of them, and like it was bad. So I just don't want to see like something like that happen again, where like that's their motive, and they just start releasing these low budget.
There were a few different eras of Anchor Bay though. Like there was just the original Anchor Bay era that like came from, I think, what was the label? Video Treasures or something like that, became Anchor Bay, and then IDT Entertainment bought Anchor Bay, and then after that Stars bought Anchor. Like that was probably the last 3 or 4 years Anchor Bay was around, which I think the Stars era is the one where it was really, really sucking ass. Like they weren't even really doing a whole lot of genre stuff anymore.
Yeah, but I was hoping to see that Slippy was a part of that, but I don't get the impression that he is, unless he's just super.
Well, he would be
down about it.
He's got that poker face.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll produce content for stuff if they're putting out, re-releases or retro releases.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He's he will work for them for sure if they.
I mean, if they ever get that Trick or Treat 4K release out in 2026, then maybe he'll have time to do something else. But
I honestly forgot about that release until I just completely forgot.
Like, I think everybody has forgotten.
Yeah, I think they're hoping people forgot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they probably hope people forgot.
I mean,
I'm sure people are all over them about it.
Yeah, that was a blunder for sure. I don't know. I guess it was just poor planning. I don't know. I mean, he never did really explain it, but yeah, I don't think it's even close to being done. So maybe this fall, but Anchor Bay Entertainment, though, the one thing that I would do, they've got the new logo, right? I would just nix that. Go with, if you can legally use it, go with that original sailboat logo. That alone would get people would just, get moist.
So the new one has just got like a skull crossbones kind of thing on it, right?
Yeah.
That's not.
It does not compare at all to the original.
Yeah, so they may not have the rights to use that. I mean, who knows? I don't know how that works. But if they can, like that would, yes. And go back to the little logo on the spine and everything, people be all over that, man. For sure.
So wait, they're just starting with like 2 titles outright. Do they have like a projected release date, like a time frame or anything?
I think it's this fall. I don't think they've actually set a date yet. Yeah, I don't see a date on here or anything, but I think they said this fall.
I'm pretty sure people will buy the Leatherface thing.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Just the other title, I don't know about that. I just hope like low sales figures doesn't discourage them from moving forward. Like they're going to need like one big title, then it'll take off.
Then you got all the completionists, and they're going to have everything that they put out.
Yeah,
that's true.
The problem with it now is that like we're saturated with boutique labels. This is not like it was back when Anchor Bay was at the height. Like nowadays, like you can't turn around. You get throw a rock without hitting a boutique label. Between like stuff overseas and the stuff here, it's like there's a lot of competition and a lot of people are doing like releases that are insane right now. So where do they fit into that? I guess they've got to figure that out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they need like that one big title to stand out. I just hope they don't get lost in the shuffle is all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to now because Anchor Bay, like back 20 years ago or whatever, they were probably selling more titles than all of these boutique labels combined today. like limited editions of 100,000 copies and stuff like that. So
the marketplace was much larger than people.
Yeah,
you could get the average person would occasionally splurge on physical media back then too, and they were in big retailers for sure. I'm sure they outsold all of these companies back then.
Yeah,
I love that quote.
Landscape's different though.
I love the quote that Felcher had where he asked like one of his bosses, like, "How limited is this?" And the guy was like, "It's limited to how many we can sell." It's not really limited, dude. It's just, yeah.
I think what would be cool though, like, I mean, I don't know what kind of budget these guys have. Go for big titles that Anchor Bay had back in the day that maybe have not been really seen since in the US. There's Near Dark. There you go.
Yeah, that would imagine they came out of the fences with a Near Dark 4K or something like that. Because I mean, they had Near Dark back in the day, and like probably the nicest Near Dark edition ever.
Yeah, the best.
Actually, you know what would even be really sick? It is if like some of those editions, like imagine if they did Near Dark and basically mimicked that almost same version from back in the day, but like kind of updated it. Like it was like a big fold out with like lenticular.
Big
I mean, like
book.
Yeah. Well, like I think it'd be kind of cool if they almost tried to go back and mimic some of these cool ass releases that they had.
Studio Canal was supposed to be doing Near Dark. They had announced the restoration of it years ago, but nothing ever came of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just I don't know where this goes. We heard about it and then it just kind of vanished, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that they do need, like Mark was saying, Anchor Bay to restart, and I'm excited about it because I love the brand. I think that was a brand that didn't need to go away at all. Like they could have continued, and they kind of silently just closed up shop. I think it's 2017 was when they. So it's been what?
You remember
6-7 years.
The story that always stuck with me that he told about why they ended up folding, and this is what I'm afraid is going to happen to a lot of these labels too, is they started like the more success they had, the more they started investing in these higher priced rights and titles and things like that. And then over time, like as the sales started to decline and they're spending more money on the rights to these movies, like it just didn't equal out to where it got to a point where it just sunk them. And I feel like, you know, you see, I'm going to use Vinegar Syndrome as a one just because it's easy. Like you see them, you know, putting out shit like Roadhouse and Showgirls and things like that. Like, you know, the rights for those have to be something more so than Night Screams anyway. So it's like, I don't know about that business model. Like it's the same business model basically that got Anchor Bay fucked up. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's tricky out there, and especially with a lot of these 4Ks and stuff being region free, and like it's almost like a lot of these companies, it's just as easy to get overseas stuff now than it is here. So, I mean, look at who was it? It was Umbrella. Like they already announced they just put out Hitcher, and you know they're basically trying to beat Second Sight to the punch, but a lot of people are waiting, and you wonder, you know, I wonder how much that cost them to get. If are people jumping the gun and grabbing it right away, or are they all sitting back and waiting?
That's another thing I hate what's going on right now too.
Now they're kind of battling, right? And you're not sure which one to go after, you know.
Because that China O'Brien thing is a perfect example of that too. Like that whole shit with that. So, you know, Vinegar Syndrome never talks about like what they're releasing that far in the future, except a couple of titles. But then I forget what company it was.
Eureka, I think.
Eureka released like China O'Brien, and then Vinegar Syndrome the next day. They're like, hey, hold off on that shit because we got like a 2-disc. We got the
well, it's interesting because now Eureka just announced that they're going to be doing US stuff, right? They're like coming over here now. So I don't know what that means for everything. That's like a whole new boutique that's going to be for the US. Eureka's coming over.
Dude,
so
yeah, some of these like UK European companies or whatever, I'm awaiting the announcement, and I know it's coming, that Second Sight Films is coming to the US. And when that happens, bulls, shit's about to get fucking real. That's all I'm going to say, because well, you got Arrow too. Arrow and Second Sight to me are the two big ones, and they're both based in Europe, you know. But Second Sight's still only pretty much in the UK. I mean, you can order their stuff and everything, but as far as, you know, their Blu-rays and all that, they're still region B locked. So yeah, Eureka, and I'm sure Second Sight, hopefully within the next couple of years, will have like a US division.
88 Films is probably not too far behind as well.
True. Yeah. They just announced American Pies, which is a really weird release for something like that. And then Viavision just announced that they're doing Halloween's 2 and 3 on 4K. It's like, so now we're getting that again. You know what I mean? There's just so much out there.
Why do we need
the same
that again,
repeats over and over?
Those are Blu-rays, I think.
Yeah,
they
those are
right.
Blu-rays.
They're probably like, fuck it, let's do it. But I mean, are you losing? Like, think about money lost there. How much would it cost for them to get the access to Halloween 2 and 3? And is the market really there for that again?
Well, I don't think it costs them very much, and I'll tell you why. Because the Viavision stuff that I've looked at, like I got that gate set in a couple of weeks ago. Those are the exact US discs. Exact.
What the hell?
And they did the same thing with the Rob Zombie Halloween or whatever. So I don't know if they're getting a deal on them where they can just get copies of the US discs, and they're all region free too, by the way. So it's essentially, you can play them anywhere. So people are getting, like, you can have all the Rob Zombie Halloween movies in one set. People want that, right? Because it hasn't really been done.
I guess.
Well, people want it.
Some people want that.
Somebody wants that?
Somebody else somewhere wants that.
Yeah. But American Pie, though, Garrett, honestly, like, some of the stuff that's in that movie, it kind of fits now, because, like, I don't know if you're going to get American re-releases of those movies.
I don't understand how that's getting a foreign 4K and not released in the States, American Pie specifically. That seems like an obvious one that Universal would put out, but
I mean,
I think it's due to the content in it now, though. It's not, some of this stuff is not, it's not really, the world has changed in the last,
That'd be so killer if, like, every edition that came out now was, like, edited down.
Oh God!
And, like, they kind of made their own.
The most famous scene in the whole movie they have to take out.
That'd be so killer.
God, you think about all the movies from the 70s, like late 70s and early 80s, that would just not at all make it with some of the stuff in them.
Yeah, Porky's comes to mind.
The toy. Think about something like the toy.
Like that's never coming out again. Is that what
Revenge of the Nerds.
The end of Revenge of the Nerds. Yes. Yeah.
So keep what you got,
so,
guys. Because I don't know.
Point being is, 88 films, and Umbrella might have a lot of stuff to release here.
These are exploitation movies.
Right.
Soul Man. Actually, I think I have Soul Man.
Oh man! Oh God!
I remember that shit.
Dude, let's look at this one, right? Look at this one. I was like going through my collection the other day because I'm trying to organize, and I had Soul Man, and I have this.
Oh man!
Oh God! I don't know if we can even show that on
here. YouTube canceled all of our shit.
I'm like, what the hell? Like,
I wish I had that when I met Steve Miner. I would have been like, so about Soul Man.
Oh, that's right. Steve Miner directed
Soul
Man, didn't he?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. I forgot.
What's funny, though, is whenever what year was that? Like 88, 89, something like that?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
Nobody gave a single shit at all. I bet it wasn't even like in passing. In 1989, nobody cared. Nobody thought anything of it. And
I actually loved Soul Man as a kid. I saw it as a young kid, and I thought it was a good movie. Like, what did
was that C. Thomas Howell? What did he do after that?
Yeah, C. Thomas Howell and Radon Chong, I think, were the.
What did he do after that? That was it.
Radon Chong.
Hitcher 2.
Yeah, he's like, fuck.
Do I have a copy of Song of the South? Yes, I do. Correct.
Where do we go from there? Like,
sweet potato pie. Shut my mouth.
What do you want me to say?
Isn't this the Elm Street episode?
Yeah, I don't know how we got in.
I don't own a copy.
You do it. Song of the South watch along on here, bulls. Dedicate it to Disney.
No, please, God, no. Anyway, Freddy was killer back in the day, right?
Oh yeah.
There is a lot of movies. I mean, that would be kind of an interesting show. Maybe that's something that we can do like a multi-stream for, Garrett. Movies that
will never come out again.
Yeah, that are not fly to talk about today. Wouldn't fly today.
You gotta do that, Garrett.
I actually don't.
It's gotta be a show.
I think that would be a pretty good show. Like movies that wouldn't fly today. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
movies that have aged badly.
Totally, for sure.
That
man.
would be number one. That should be on the top
100%.
of the list.
What about
Well, that's
Mrs.
funny.
Doubtfire, man? That's another one. Like, think about that.
Right.
You know,
Just one of the
nobody thought any-
guys. That's another one, right?
just one of the girls.
Dressed to
Just one of the
Kill.
girls, just one of the guys. Yeah, all those movies for sure. Ladybugs.
Sleepaway Camp for that matter.
Sleepaway Camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were going to do a sequel to Mrs. Doubtfire, though, before Robin Williams
I heard
passed
about
away.
that. Yeah, I had heard something about that. They were actually working on it, I think, right? Pre-production or something.
Yeah, I
White
see
chicks.
people
White
talking about
Chicks, yes.
Tropic Thunder, but I think
Oh, my
Downey
God.
Jr. came out and like basically was like, I'm not. I think he came out and basically said something about the role, like not in a negative way. I think he said something like he's not upset that he did it or anything like that. So
That movie
yeah.
is it seems to be uncancelable though. And I think it's because like it's mocking like the Hollywood system. It's not like talking like it's a realistic or anything like that. Like it's actually mocking shit like that. So I think that people give that movie a pass a lot of times.
it's just pick and choose. Like this one gets a pass, this one doesn't.
Yeah, I mean for that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Robert
Scary
always
Movie 1 and
jokes about
2. Amazing.
Could you ever do a black exploitation episode, Uncle Bill, on the exploitation?
I
show?
thought about that and then I was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pass on that.
Being a young man from Eastern Kentucky,
Don't think that's the move for me on that show.
Probably wouldn't be a good idea, would it?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any of those movies. I don't think I've ever seen any.
Never seen Coffee.
I don't think
yeah.
so. No.
Pam Grier.
Mm-hmm.
What about Penitentiary?
I
Is
Is
know
it the
Yeah.
one with Sugar Ray?
I'm not sure.
Not the rapper. the guy from, not the Sugar Ray Leonard. Isn't he in one of those?
Penitentiary 1 and 2.
Boxer.
Really?
I don't think he's in there. I'm not. From what I remember.
Listen, he's in one of them movies, one of them prison movies. I can't remember which one.
Okay.
Him and
Somebody.
George Foreman fought in a prison.
Freddy Got Fingered is the ultimate no-fly. I don't. Well, yeah, that's probably
Thank
that
you,
movie's not
Carter.
really like. That's not even a
Oh,
movie, really.
Oh yeah, I have that movie Bone from Larry Cohen. I have that. It's Blue Underground did that.
What about Bones with Snoop Dogg?
Oh yeah.
That's a
that too.
classic.
Damn. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting topic to just talk about some of those movies that and the thing is it sucks is it's like, you know, we didn't watch them for the wrong reasons. Like I said, I was a kid, thought Soul Man was a cool movie, and that's why I bought it when I was an adult because I had fond memories of it growing up. And, you know, I didn't think anything negative of it until, you know, things were exposed and you're like, oh, I guess that wasn't that good of an idea. But man, I mean, how many kids do you think grew up when we were little kids that, you know, dressed like Mr. T for Halloween or something like that? Like, I'm sure there was probably tons, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because he
Listen,
was huge back then.
The fact is, people are stupid. Like, the truth about it is, nobody takes context into consideration about anything.
Exactly.
Like, of when people grew up and like what was going on at that time. They always want to like shoehorn everything into like today, and it's like that's not how shit works. But if they want to believe that's how shit works, that's fine.
But like, you think
And
little kids were
really
like, "Oh,
not.
I want to be Mr. T for Halloween because I'm racist." Like, no, they were showing
Exactly,
tribute
like,
to
that
somebody who they
wasn't-
loved,
yeah.
right? Like, you didn't dress up for people for Halloween that you didn't like, you know.
Right.
Yeah. No. But yeah, anything else that you guys, if you guys have any other news topics or anything, it's kind of, you know, these are usually open topics, so have at it if you guys have something you want to bring up on here.
Have y'all checked out the? Go ahead.
No, go, Dirk. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, have y'all seen the new Argento documentary? Panico, is that what it's called?
I
did
have
watch
it, but
it.
I have not watched it yet.
Okay.
I'm
What did you
going
think?
through all of his movies on 4K right now, and then I'm going to watch that documentary.
That's
At least
right.
all the ones that have been released, like in chronological order, and then I'm going to watch that. So looking forward to it.
I started watching it earlier. I haven't finished it yet, but from what I've seen, I was digging it. So he's making a film, and there's a crew following him around. So it seemed pretty interesting. But he looked kind of pissed off. Crotchety.
I'll tell you the one thing you get out of that movie and I guess you get out like anybody that's like a genius at something is that he's crazy, man. Like he's fucking like I mean, his whole thing was like he doesn't like to go to hotels, like certain hotels.
Famous
Freak him
hotel.
out,
I saw
famous
that.
hotels,
Yeah.
and he doesn't like to be around people, and he doesn't when he's especially when he's riding, which I guess that's not too crazy. It's just some of the things that he does in that and talks about is just very odd. The one thing I did get out of that documentary that I didn't really ever know was the relationship between him and his kids, like, is completely different. And for people that I mean, amongst the kids, he's got a completely different relationship with one than the other, which you finally follow through on that.
Okay.
On that documentary. It's a pretty cool. If you want to know some like behind the scenes stuff about him, it's a pretty cool documentary. The stuff they talk about the movies, you probably already seen all that shit in something else.
Well, do they go through like all of his movies in a way?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
So talk about Dracula 3D. It's your favorite, right?
I don't remember much discussion about Dracula 3D.
You know, his
opera.
They do talk about that because Asia Argento's in it. Yeah.
What about his produced films? Like, I'd be interested to hear like what his relationship like was with Michele Soave. I think. Yeah.
He's on it. Yeah. He's
I would think they interview him in that, right?
Yeah, he's in there.
Cool.
I saw Gaspar Noé's in there.
Yeah, he's that dude's off. He's a little off center. I mean, makes some great films.
Well, yeah, you can kind of get that if you want. That movie though, that Argento's performance in that movie. I don't know if you guys have seen that Vortex movie that where Argento is pretty much starring in it. It's I was amazed at how well of the job that Argento did in that movie.
Same. What's that one dude's name that freaking ripped apart Refn?
Yeah, Nicholas
Winding Refn. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, his Argento was one of his big inspirations, so he's in there too.
Oh yeah, he was on. He did Neon Demon.
Neon Demon.
Yeah.
And directed Drive.
Right.
Yeah, Drive was probably his most well-known movie, I guess.
There's some cool, also in there, some cool like TV stuff that Argento did in the early 70s, right around the time when Bird with Crystal Plumage came out and was really, really like popular. Like he was doing, like he did his own TV series I didn't even know about for a brief period of time where he like introduced movies and shit. Just stuff like that you find out about that was going on.
Didn't they release a box set of those?
They probably did.
It's like a double disc like DVD set. I think I still have it. It's called Darkness something.
Door into Darkness.
That's what.
Yeah. May have been like Blue Underground or one of those companies like that did it. Or
I think it was I don't know. For some reason I feel like it might have been like a no-name label that did that. And then in that also had the documentary for what is the one? Argento what was that documentary he had back in the day? I remember renting the VHS.
World of Horror?
That's on the Darkness DVD. It's World of Horror.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's on there.
I forget who put that out, but you're right. It was like some label that never, I mean, it wasn't one of the bigger ones.
No.
That released Door into Darkness.
There were a lot of those back in the day.
Like Maya Communications or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys been following the whole Vince McMahon saga?
I knew that's what he's going to say. Like right as he started saying it, I knew that was what was going.
Well, the way he started rubbing his face, I don't want to say this.
We're going to talk about this shit now.
Yes, I've watched it.
I think that there's a lot more heads are going to roll out of this thing, and it may be until after Mania or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there's. Yeah, as far as like the people backstage and everything, they're going to have to clean house, I think.
Oh, they're 100% cleaning house. Pritchard, Michael Hayes, those are all going to be people of the past. They're done.
Pritchard said he was good. He's like, no, I'm not going to be sued. I'm like, dude, you have no idea what they're going to say. Like once everything comes out.
I mean, he's even if they don't get sued, I think TKO are going to just dump that old regime and just say we're bringing our own people in. It's over. The only one I get nervous about is Triple H. Like, I think if they lose Triple H, WWE as a whole is done.
I think that it's inevitable, though, man. I think that
I know, but dude, that they're going to be run by all Hollywood, and I think that the state of wrestling is gone. If they lose, Triple H is going to be like the last wrestling mind left.
Yep.
And he's the only one that's going to keep it somewhat what WWE is. I think without him, I think we're looking at a whole new product that's going to be hanging out on Netflix, and it's going to feel like freaking like Lucha Underground or some shit. It's going to be so produced. I don't know.
It's going to be Wrestling Society X.
But yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's going to be. And I feel like we're in deep shit if they get rid of him. And I also get the concern that like a lot of these real wrestlers are going to be like, I don't want to work for this company anymore. This isn't what I wanted to do. And then what? You know, it's a shitty situation, man. And I also think the fact that Brock has been like, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That Brock has been wiped out from existence tells me that there's more to that story, because for what he supposedly did and only what he supposedly did, for him to be completely banished, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Do you know, like,
well, he just wanted her to pay for him. I mean,
yeah, but, okay. I mean, I get it, but like,
that's filming that shit, sending it to Germany. I mean,
but I mean, you'd figure he would have to do a lot more than that for them to just try to banish him away.
What you mean?
Technically, you know, I don't know. I just think there's more to that story, because he's completely like, I think you can't even find him on the website. All of his stuff's like 50% off. I mean, he's gone, man. He's out.
You know what the weirdest part about this story is to me right now? And there's a lot of weird parts of the story. The weirdest part about this story to me is that AEW is not benefiting from this whatsoever. Their numbers are worse now than they ever were. I'm like, how do you not benefit from like a company imploding like right in front of you? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
They're kind of imploding too, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. So something I was thinking about when it comes to the whole Vince situation is like, let's say the case is resolved. He doesn't do any time or whatever. Like, there's no federal investigation. Everything's clean. He gets out of it fine, unscathed. He's not going to go back home and just like not do anything. I could see two things happening. He'd work for two guys. One guy, he shows up in AEW working for Tony Khan.
That would be
that would be insane.
Hilarious. Yeah.
And then the other way, let's say Tony Khan's like, I don't want anything to do with you. He works for Trump. He's really cool with Trump. He's buddies with him, helped with the campaign. I could see him working on like, you know, funding something for Trump. I could see that happening. Vince is not the type of guy who's just going to go home and not do anything. He's going to come back to something, but I know TKO won't have him. So he's going to go somewhere. And I think those two guys are the most likely places like he ends up working.
Well, he's going to be busy with his attorneys for a while. So that'll take some time. He's almost 80 years old too.
But I mean, at the same time, at 76, if he was doing all this heinous shit that he was doing, I mean,
That's crazy.
He's fucking. He's got some endurance. That guy, you know, he's still going. You know?
Shit.
What's funny is though, it's like nobody ever discussed it, because Vince is an old man. He was like you said, 76.
Yeah, it wasn't like this wasn't Attitude Era Vince out there all testosterone up. This was like old man Vince.
Maybe he accidentally shit on this girl's head.
How long has he been doing that, though?
Like, he's an old man.
That's what I really want to know.
Like, if he's getting too excited, he could, you know, I mean, it could happen if you're an old man.
Is this decades of shit? I mean,
no, all this shit happened, like the literal shit that we're talking about. That happened like what, 3 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago?
2021 or 2022, I think.
Yeah.
So this is like late 70s Vince that's like still pulling all this shit. But I keep saying that, right?
When they're saying that those those NDAs, he had them drawn up himself and sent to his lawyer on behalf of the company.
Right.
So they're saying that those may not even be like, you know, legally binding or whatever. So he's like, they said it's been 12 or 13 million dollars worth of NDAs over the years. And man, there's just I just think like this is like the Harvey Weinstein thing early on. You're going to see like there's going to be so much stuff that's going to come out. The Ashley Massaro stuff as well. So a lot of people don't know about that. I think that Vince, that was one of his girls as well, honestly. I think there was something that went on there, and there's stuff that happened in Kuwait or wherever they were at that they kind of swept under the rug. This girl got addicted to drugs. She was depressed and everything. She killed herself 3 or 4 years ago. So there's some shit that's going to come out about that too. So I think Vince is not getting out of this one. I think that he's probably going to serve some hard time. Big Boss Man's coming for him, not the wrestler. But
he's gonna be in get out of it though.
He does. He's gonna be in that cell with nails, and then the shit's gonna really go down.
He's gonna choke him out again.
Yeah. Did you see? I sent you guys a video that Russo did with Stevie. That still boggles my mind, that whole conversation, because they were saying that they're wondering if this has been a plan of people that are involved in TKO for years, because they said Ari Emanuel's been friends with Vince for 20 years. And, you know, that guy, Nick Khan, he kind of came out of nowhere, I feel like, right? Like I had no idea who that guy was. And they were saying, like, do you think that Ari, who's been a friend of Vince for so long, who's also really close with Nick Khan, convinced Vince to bring him in to help with the company with the idea of, hey, listen, the only way this company is going to get sold is if Vince is out, right? So then he tells Nick Khan, come into this company. Vince has so many skeletons in his closet, find them, and then we'll go from there. Like it almost seems like this could have been so calculated for years to find this dirt on Vince. They realized all this stuff's being paid out from the company. Nick Khan found it, released that all these NDAs, millions of dollars were going to random people throughout the years. That's what kind of opened everybody's eyes to Vincent originally. And then as soon as they sign on with The Rock and they sign on to Netflix, then like literally the next day, all this drops. Like, I don't know. It's interesting concept to think if this was all like in the works for a long time to finally get Vince out of there. And they said these guys are coming from Hollywood, and they said some of these guys kind of were involved with Weinstein for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. And, you know, was it the same thing? Did they kind of work their way around? I don't know. It's an interesting concept to think about, like if this was like so pre-calculated, you know, but I don't know.
I think one of the more interesting parts of this to me too is that if you remember, like when he came back the last time after he left and resigned, like they had to vote on him coming back, and like Stephanie voted against him coming back. I think that Triple H voted against him coming back, and Nick Khan voted against him coming back. So it's like, I get the feeling like they're going to be hard pressed to say they didn't know something was going on. Like, it just seems like.
Well, it's the level that, you know, the details, I guess, of what they knew. Like, I think pretty much everybody knew that this, whatever this secretary was or whatever, was kind of Vince's girlfriend, but they didn't know that he was like, you know, double teaming her with Laurinaitis.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. I think that Shane knew this kind of stuff like way, or he was like the first person that knew and was actually like, I don't want to deal with this shit.
That's why he left.
Yeah, I almost guarantee that now.
Well, I mean, that's Stephanie too. Like the whole thing with Stephanie, she was gone after he came back immediately.
Mm-hmm.
This last time. But yeah,
it is fascinating though to watch just the complete like meltdown of this company, and
it's sad still though. It makes me sad that this is how it's going to go down. You know,
it's weird timing too. Go down in lawsuits. They're making the most money now than they have ever made before. Like probably double or triple the amount.
Well, first of all, the publicity, like even if it seems to be helping them, like regardless of whatever it is. And then they brought the Rock shit on like right at the same time, and like. That's the part that confuses me, is there's no negative effect on their company. And if anything, like they're killing AEW even more now than they were before, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. AEW's done, man. Like I watched some of that
show. They need
to
be done.
I watched some of that show last night. Like I think there was more people in the old ECW shows that was there. And what it is, they book these full-size arenas, and they section it off, and it's just embarrassing, you know.
Well, they just spent a lot of money on Sasha Banks or whatever, so hopefully they're still going to do okay, because if they paid her what she wanted Triple H to pay her, that's a lot of freaking money, man. So I don't know what their plan is here.
Shit on Sasha Banks, God.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Yeah, that's tough.
Shit on Sasha Banks.
I really do like that. I don't know.
Yeah, she's kind of not a nice person from what I've seen.
No.
But anybody else got anything on here? We appreciate there's like 140 people
Damn.
checking
Nice.
this out this late at night and everything on a work night too. So appreciate everybody hanging in there and the chat and everything, and lots of funny shit about Vince that I can't put in here, but we appreciate it.
One thing I did see, which is probably left best for the other show that we do for No News is Good News, but I just wanted you guys' takes on it. The film that Alex Cox did back in the day that he's most known for, the Repo Man sequel, is happening. I don't know why. I like Repo Man, but like it's such a niche like cult film, and so much of the charm of that movie is like the time setting.
It's a product of its time. Yeah,
exactly.
It's too late.
I thought that was an Onion article when I first read it. Like I thought it was fake news. And then I was like, oh wow. I don't know that anyone wanted a Repo Man sequel, and I really like Repo Man a lot too. But it was like such a bizarre. I'm like, what? Who's screaming for the Repo Man sequel, right? Like,
exactly.
Is there a modern audience for that? Is there brand recognition for Repo Man? I don't think so.
No.
So strange, but
very
who knows? Maybe it'll be good.
Well, it's probably for some streaming service or something, right? So it's amazing the sequels we get because there's so many different outlets. Like the Coming to America sequel is one where I was like, you got everybody back.
Right.
And that was just the most confusing thing because it was so goddamn awful. Like from pretty much the opening scene, I'm like, what? I'm confused. You get all that money, have all the people back, and this is what you put out.
Right, because that wasn't theatrical. That was like an Amazon movie or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What a waste of money.
Yeah.
But is anybody excited about Ari Aster's new production of Sasquatch Sunset?
Yes. Whatever he does, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I'm good for it.
That's actually the movie that it's a Bigfoot.
I haven't heard of it, but
yeah.
That's the Lost Eagle song. That's what's
I believe in Ari Aster.
yeah.
It's just a Sasquatch Sunset. Yeah.
Jeez.
I'd like the Eagles a lot more if they did shit like that. It really, you should see the poster for it, man. If you haven't seen the poster for it.
There's not a trailer yet, right?
It's the picture when them looking like from the woods, that one?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like when Leatherface was like coming up from the flowers or something like that. It was just a little head.
It's amazing. There's no trailer that I can find, but like just the idea of that just
oh my god.
That's the first I've heard of it. Yeah.
I heard something about it, but I didn't hear the name. Sasquatch Sunset. We got to do that song now. Uncle Bill. We got to work.
You got to do it. You guys got to do it.
Two Bigfoots.
It's a family of Bigfoots, is what it is. Like, and they're like staring out into a lake, holding hands. It's bound to be something glorious.
I have faith.
They're going to get Jeff Daniel Phillips in it to be one of the Bigfoots.
Yeah, he's going to be the.
Like he could be he was as good as the Geico caveman.
Daddy Bigfoot.
But yeah, dude, I gotta run. I gotta hop on my thing. I'm late, but thank you guys.
You gotta open your fucking box up.
I gotta open my big box of shit.
Open the box. All right, man. We'll see you. You're gonna join us on that Ninja show, aren't you?
Yes.
All right, that'll be fun. Cool.
All right, I'll see you guys.
All right,
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Later, dudes.
So if any of you motherfuckers go over on Garrett's channel right now, I'm going to come looking for you.
You don't go over and do that.
Watch him open a box. Who cares? No, I'm just kidding.
Tell him that.
I hopped in late, but favorite Elm Street memory. You guys have one?
Well, real quick, because I always talk about this. Nightmare on Elm Street 1, that was probably the only horror movie that I can think of that literally did give me a nightmare. And it was kind of a recurring thing. And it was the hallway scene where the dead body is being dragged with the blood and everything and all that. And that was like a recurring nightmare for years and years and years when I saw that movie probably too young. That was probably what it was. But yeah, that's probably the best memory I have, the whole series.
Do y'all remember there was a period of time they made these really, really cheap Freddy costumes for Halloween?
Yeah.
And what it was a plastic mask
Mhm.
and a plastic, almost like a gown that had the stripes and stuff on it. And that was basically the outfit. And everybody, like that Halloween, I was probably 9 or 10. I had one of those. Everybody either had one of those or they were wearing one of those shitty like Jason hockey mask, like the pure white ones that glow in the dark. Some of them glow in the dark. Some of them like.
I had one of those.
I just remember that vividly because if you look back at that, those costumes were awful. But like everybody had them. Like that was the thing. That was like
what was it like they call them Ben Cooper sets or whatever, that it just had the rubber band, mask or whatever that you put on.
Basically just like
they did like every character you could think of, like Smurfs and Alf and all kinds of shit. I bet you, like, if anybody has got the complete Freddy one today, I bet that thing is worth a fortune.
Probably so. Still in the package.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's odd that isn't Freddy like the first out of the main slashers to get like child shit marketed, like
I've got to imagine,
probably
he's a child killer. I mean, it's just kind of
it is an odd dichotomy. You're right.
Yeah. Now that was the Nightmare on Elm Street. That was probably the first horror movie that was crazy merchandise too. You gotta think, right?
Yeah.
Like that one and Friday the 13th, both. They were pretty close together, I guess. Which Nintendo game came out first? I'm curious. I have no idea. Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. They both sucked. They were both awful.
I was going to say that. They were both fucking terrible.
I could never beat that shit. Neither one of them.
No.
What the hell is going on here?
Texas Chainsaw came out first of any of them. I do know that. It was on Atari.
Yeah. But I never had an Atari as a kid though, so I don't remember that one. But
you remember that shit in Friday the 13th? This killed me about that game. I think it was Friday the 13th. It might have been Nightmare on Elm Street, where you had to throw the rocks and you could never hit anything with the rocks because they would like go over the person, or like there were zombies and stuff coming at you, but all you had was like a rock that you threw at them, like, and like you could never hit the thing as it was moving.
The worst Nintendo, the company that made Nintendo games, was LJN. Do you guys remember this?
That's very true.
Fucking the Christmas that I got my Nintendo, I still remember. I think it was 2 games. My dad, they all come with Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
So I got that one, but it was the Pac-Man, which I love Pac-Man. I still do. And the fucking Back to the Future game. Holy shit. How do they expect little kids to fucking play that? That game was hard as hell.
Fester's Quest was the worst one, man. Like Fester's Quest was
I love the game though. It is those fucking frogs jumping around. Yeah.
Y'all remember E.T. and shit on Atari?
Yeah. I do.
There's a documentary about that game, right? Where the company, like, that was the biggest bomb. Like, they thought they were going to sell millions and millions and millions of copies of these, so they made up millions of copies, evidently. And they didn't sell because the game was evidently terrible. I don't know. Eric, do you know anything about that? I know you're shaking your head there. That the documentary on
there was rumors for years that they buried like all of the extra ET games in a landfill somewhere.
Damn.
So I assume that's what that documentary is about.
Yeah, I think so. I think they
could never figure out how to get the hell home. Shit.
I think that was the point. Nobody could. Like, yeah.
Yeah, those games were like so archaic, I guess. Like, it was just basically pixelated things on there. Pong was like the best game on the Atari that I've ever played.
You know what's fucking weird as I sit here and think about it? They've never made a Halloween, like a Michael Myers game, have they?
Atari had one.
I think Atari did.
Did they?
I never played it, but I think I seen it somewhere one time.
And Michael Myers has appeared as a character in like a horror game, but they haven't done like an actual Halloween video game.
Right.
I'm sure that's
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. Dead by Daylight. I mean, it's pretty fun to play as him in that. I mean, they got the whole like Laurie character in there. They cue the music from the movie. You have the Haddonfield section of the game. It's pretty good.
But yeah, I'm sure there'll be like an official Halloween game come out eventually. Because you got the Texas Chainsaw game, which I don't hear too many people talk about that. Like it's
kind of died down.
It's not as popular as that Friday the 13th one when it came out.
Yeah, I was on it pretty hard when it first.
The Friday the 13th one's pretty good. When it worked, it was amazing.
Yeah,
so faithful to the franchise too, like the music and feel of it and everything. They really nailed it.
Yeah, they're talking about the Atari Halloween. Like I think both of those Atari, like the Texas Chainsaw and the Halloween games, those things are worth gigantic.
I could imagine
money now. Yeah, like $1,000 or something. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is another game that they're working on right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out. I'm gonna get that for Grayson. So.
I'm gonna get that. Yeah, I gotta get that too.
That's a weird one, like because like there hasn't been any Killer Clown. Like the one movie in 1988.
Let me tell you something. That's a contender for a movie that never had a sequel. That might be like one of the most popular horror films that never had a sequel. Because like my oldest daughter, who's 12 now, loves that fucking movie. Like constantly. And it's all over the place now too, in like Spirit Halloween and stuff. Like
there's a company that's going to release like statues from that as well. From Killer.
Yeah, I mean those characters kind of became iconic.
They have the big
like
animatronic clowns now at Spirit Halloween too. Yeah, that's interesting because they never like you would think that would be one that would kind of be easy to do a sequel for. It's just the costumes, right?
Right.
So guys, anything else? We've still got a little bit of time left on here. Uncle Bill, you got anything?
No, Sasquatch Sunset did it for me. That was
your big topic, right?
That's my big topic.
Any physical media releases that's been announced? Peepin' Tom is coming out from Criterion. I saw that today. That'll be a good one to pick up. 4K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was listed as like the first US release of it, so that'll be cool.
Sweet. I wonder what the story is behind that.
I'm not sure, man. I know I still have never seen that film. Yeah. Surprisingly. I need to change that.
Did you guys watch that Cemetery Man 4K?
I didn't get it yet.
I haven't got it yet.
It's a little bit too pricey for me. I mean, it looks like a killer set. I love that they went with Delamorte de la Moore.
The art
that's a better name.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's neat that they did. I haven't watched it yet either. It's sitting on my shelf over here, but apparently it looks really good. I'm excited to watch it.
I'm ready to crack into this damn thing.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Inside of my baby. I think you'll love at least the first two movies. That's the ones that I watched because they're just so damn weird.
Right.
You know.
Have y'all checked out the Conan yet?
I don't have it yet. No, I ordered it from Amazon.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay.
I'm sure those will look killer though. I couldn't imagine. So I actually have Red Sonja. I got the Red Sonja one that came out in Germany a couple.
Oh shit!
I'm a mark for that movie, man.
Yeah,
that's just one that I grew up with. Or whatever.
Yeah. It's an unofficial third part, right?
Yeah, I think they wanted to make it the third Conan movie, but they couldn't get the rights or something, so they changed Arnold's name to Calidor.
That's true. Is it the one with Grace Jones, or is that
that's
Destroyer? That's Destroyer.
Okay.
Red Sonja is got Paul Smith that was in this. God damn it, what was he in? He was in a couple of movies. Pieces, I think he was the crazy ass in Pieces.
Oh yeah,
he's got the big bone or whatever. Yep. That's his weapon in Red Sonja, the fucking giant bone.
No, yep.
You imagine the director going, this is going to be your weapon, man. You're going to have this big fucking bone. You know.
It's been forever since I've seen Red Sonja, though. Damn.
They burned that movie up though on like TBS and stuff back in the day. I think that's where I watched it a lot. You know, Bridget Nielsen in that. Oh, God bless America.
Good Lord. Yeah.
Yes.
And how tall is she? She's like 6'4" or something.
She's over 6 foot tall. I don't know.
She's tall as hell.
Yeah. But Yeah, guys. I mean, it's been fun. Do you guys got anything coming up on your all's channel? I know Dirk, we need to mention again, YouTuber of the month, Subjective Perspective Collective is nominated, so everybody needs to go over there. And I'll try to put the link in the description of the video when it's archived and everything. So you can vote until what you said, the end of February.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's on Anthony Horror and More. He's got a video on there.
Yeah, so that's the rules. You have to put the comment in the video you're voting for. So
right.
It's the same one that Garrett won probably a year and a half ago or something. So
Right.
that thing, it's cool that it's still going on, and yeah, so everybody needs to get over there and vote.
Appreciate it, man.
Dirk, what do you got coming up on your channel?
Saturday we're doing the Sergio Martino series. So it's part 2 to the series. So we'll be covering. I haven't covered them yet. Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward, Torso, Island of the Fishmen, Screamers, and American Rickshaw.
Wow, lots of stuff.
Have y'all seen either one of those? American Rickshaw, man. I think y'all dig it if y'all haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that. I've seen
That's actually one I've
Torso.
never seen either. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
we
got
were.
Donald Pleasance in it. It's a wackadoo comedy. You would not think that's Martina. For sure. It is insane.
Very cool. Yeah, you guys always talking about some pretty obscure stuff on there too. So going into the Euro horror stuff pretty deep.
Yeah, man. Trying to give Martino some love. So I figured we'd cover all his gialli and horror. So maybe some of his Poliziotteschi too. But yeah,
Cool.
man.
And Eric, do you have a YouTube page?
No, I don't. I don't do any of that stuff. I just like to jump on these when I can.
Cool. Yeah, it's always good to have you. And for those that don't know, I know we haven't mentioned it on here, but you work for, or I think you still work for Sideshow Collectibles, which is pretty cool.
I did for a long time. I don't anymore.
Oh, you got fired.
Yeah, I started a different. I'm doing something different now, but yeah, I worked there for years. So I've worked there for almost over 7 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought you were still there, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mark, what you got coming up, man? You're always working on stuff, it seems like.
Yeah, I'll probably do a video on this Vinegar Syndrome Light and an unboxing at the same time. Other than that, nothing specific, but there's always something that I'm gonna make a video.
Well, I
on.
want to see a room tour sometime, man, because I always see your collection in the background there, and I'm like, damn, I wonder what the whole room looks like.
Yeah, that'll be that's gonna take a while. I don't know how long, but I'm gonna need some help, and I don't really have any, so I don't know how I'm gonna do that one. But it'll happen at some point, but it'll probably be farther down the line, months and months away.
And I guess the next thing that we got coming up on the Dead Pit channel is on Sunday night, doing something a little bit different, aren't we, Uncle Bill, with the Exploit Nation show?
Yeah, so I don't think we've ever covered any of these films or any of these type of films before, but like it's ninja movies. So
like this one.
Yes, like Ninja 3
I
the
remember
Domination.
that one specifically. Ninja 3 the Domination.
Yeah.
So the one that I remember the most from it being as a kid is American Ninja. That one was on like nonstop, and we're going to cover that one and the Shokazugi Ninja trilogy. Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and Ninja 3 the Domination.
Well,
so
the interesting thing is those movies really all kind of go together in order, and I guess we'll talk about that because, man, in the 80s, if you were an 80s kid, the ninja those ninja movies were everywhere.
I had Ninja Stars. Shit.
Everybody, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I had like a full-on ninja outfit when I was like 10 years old.
Right.
Samurai sword. I had like the wooden samurai sword though, not the real one, unfortunately.
Right.
Throwing stars. I had one of those claw things that you could,
you could buy like a set with like all the essentials in it.
Yeah.
Nunchucks and
I was big into the ninja stuff for sure. So that's going to be fun. I mean, it's definitely something different that we have never discussed before. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, me too. We never did anything like that. So if you're interested in ninjas, and who isn't really, like, check that show out.
We may show up as ninjas.
Right.
We
That's what
might,
we're gonna
yeah,
find out.
like a smoke bomb, and we just
That'd be
appeared in the
sick.
video.
Dude, like I went back and for the first time in a few years watched Ninja 3, and God, I miss that era of movies. Just like ridiculousness really throughout pretty much the entire movie. And I love
I
it.
vaguely remember some about wasn't
It's
she
wild.
like was she possessed by a ninja? Or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a ninja movie meets like Flashdance meets
Right.
like The Exorcist
Right.
in one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
love
might be
that
my
piece of shit.
favorite one. The third one is just so
It's so
crazy.
fucking entertaining.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Revenge of the Ninjas is really freaking good too. I'm looking forward to rewatching that one. I haven't revisited that one in a while. But yeah, all those movies are pretty good, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But guys, we appreciate everybody joining us on here, everybody in the chat and everything. We've had well over 100 plus. I think we got close to 150 people at one time, so that's pretty huge for a weeknight. And we will definitely have to try to do these again more regularly if I can talk Uncle Bill into it. He's usually the one to blame when it comes to these shows.
The fuck?
I appreciate you having me, man. And
Yeah,
it's been fun, man.
Yeah, for sure. It's always fun to just bullshit. And that's the thing, you don't really have to prepare very much for these roundtable shows. You kind of just BS with some buddies. So
Right.
we will definitely try to do it again next month. And we appreciate everybody in the chat again. It's been a busy chat. I'm sorry we haven't got to keep up with it very much tonight, but we will try to do better next time. But until then, I'm the Creepy Kentuckian.
I'm Uncle Bill.
And we will catch you guys on
deadpit.com.
Give us a thumbs up,
Up you butt.
like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck. If you do
I
or
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.